Whew! That was a lot of ums, ... ellipses. Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time by introducing him to Radiohead music one song at a time. He reacts to that song for the first time, and I explain why it contributes to the hypothesis that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time. And I'm not wrong. I say this all the time. Been a long time since we uploaded a video. Been a long time since we uploaded a Radiohead video. Do you believe our last Radiohead video was Lift? That was a long time ago. And we had to do a role reversal, and we did a viewer request. Go check those out. Always need more views on those, eyes on those. Starting to get a lot of good requests for viewer requests, and I know that's tough to request those because we just don't do them very often, but I always foresee the day we can do more. They're a little easier for me to edit because I don't have so much content. I'm not talking as much. Last time we did 21 Pilots, and people were shocked we hadn't heard that song. I'm telling you, I haven't heard these songs, and most of them you haven't heard either. So request away. But we will try to get to some of the ones you've recommended based on the fact that I love Radiohead, and a lot of the regular viewers have requested bands that might not be considered as popular, maybe a little more indie, and we'll try to get to some of those too. So for the first time back in a while, we are going to go back to Hail to the Thief. That's where we started, Hail to the Thief. Good old There. Now we're back to save the universe in an interstellar burst, and we are going to do Myxomatosis. One of those tracks that you immediately, when you hear it the first time, you like, okay, this is going to be, I'm going to have a very obvious reaction to it, and you have to decide which direction your reaction is going to go. Myxomatosis was requested or recommended by Ian Ashton and Inverse Midas. Not a lot of people, but a couple of people that have been watching the channel for a long time, so their votes count double, triple, quadruple. So, and I love this song. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm indifferent toward this song for now.
Oh, Dad.
Do you believe that? This is 2003. Hail to the Thief was a different album from the previous Amnesiac. This was a little bit more melody, song structure, classic song structure, recognizable instruments. Although this one is just a lot of synthesizers, and probably one of their graveliest, grumbliest songs. Have you not heard Myxomatosis?
Maybe if I hear it,
yeah,
potentially.
The only reason why I think you might have heard Myxomatosis is I can tell you your older brother does like this song, and so since he drives you around a lot, it might have come up before. So otherwise, as far as we know, it's a first-time reaction. Okay, you ready for it?
Cool.
Okay, click on Myxomatosis.
They were cheering and waving.
Good edit by me. You have no idea what he said right there.
Yeah, I don't know what he said at all.
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's starred out right there. You don't read the naughty word. You have no idea.
Yeah, I definitely heard this one. It was like I couldn't. It sounded familiar, these first few parts, and then when he says, "But now I don't know why I feel so tongue-tied," I'm like, oh yeah, that part is pretty unique, pretty memorable. Definitely heard this song.
And it got you good because you started saying, "I don't know why," and he got you on the tongue-tied with that rest that he did, and you were like, oh, and he got you. This song is full. You can hear it in Phil's drumming. Is full of tricky rhythms and sneak up on your rhythms. I think I know the drum beat every time. I think you could give me a set of drums and I could stumble my way through it. And every time I hear it, I'm like, no, I'm lost. He got me. And it's really not that tricky. It's just syncopated is not the right word for that. It doesn't matter what the word for it is. Tom's doing it vocally. Phil's doing it percussively. And everybody else is just playing their modulated stuff.
I got myxomatosis. I don't know why I feel so tongue-tied.
I can't tell you all the... first of all, they do change the instrumentation. There are a lot of synthesizers there. I think at some point there's a mini Moog. You can look that up. Kind of a fun-looking 70s, 80s looking synth. And that Karamar or whatever that... forget it. If you know synthesizers, nerd out over the synthesizers. I don't know them enough to say, oh, that's the Prophet. That's the... I mean, I just know that they... I love watching these types of songs live, and especially since they kind of do something different. Now, Ed O'Brien uses a Fender Stratocaster during that song a lot more, and watching Colin, who it feels like Colin's driving a lot of the song, but there's definitely an effect coming through there that also gives it that grumbly, gravelly feel. Good stuff. And you can hear those. You can hear that modulated stuff. Just, I mean, holding that note at the end, and it's just. An interesting way to put a song together.
It's pretty consistent, I feel like, and like I feel like I just knew this song because of the part when he says, "I don't know why I feel so tongue-tied," because that's like the only, besides like when they at the end they're doing instrument stuff, like I feel like that's the only unique and different part about this song. And I wasn't paying attention the first time you were singing it. I don't know why I feel so tongue-tied. But the second time, I felt like here when he says, "My thoughts are misguided," I feel like if they went a little bit more hard with that, with like the vocals and the just almost anything to make the song more different, I feel like it would have been really cool.
You feel like the energy starts strong and stays the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't change to, and that's very, and okay, it's very Imagine Dragons of you. I mean, no, maybe not just Imagine Dragons. It's very popular music of you. Radiohead is, they are masters of the art of dangling something in front of you and taking it and saying, that's not how it's going to be. And they do that a lot. Musically, if you'll give me a second to just talk about it, musically, one of the best examples of that is the song Bend and Break by Keane. There's a part, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm going to sing here. At the end of the chorus of that song, he sings, I'll meet you in the morning when you... And you hear that in that order. You want it to sing, I'll meet you in the morning when you wake, because it is resolution to that melody. It's classic resolution. But they sing, I'll meet you in the morning when you wake, and then he goes down there and he does that 3 times. Only 1 time does he do what sounds like the right resolution. And so when you hear that song, it dangles the proper resolution to that melody, that bit, and takes it away by doing something differently. Radiohead does that all the time, and it's not frustrating. It's, you got me, you nailed it. And because if they gave in to that every single time, it would be too predictable. It would be not mainstream, but it would be what everybody else is doing, and that's not what they're doing. And they are trickier than that. You wanted it to get a little gnarlier, or maybe his vocals get a little more fortissimo at that point, and he doesn't do any of that. He just stays a little unsure vocally in the singer, not Tom York, but the narrator, who is Tom York, in his confidence in the message. As a Radiohead fan, I will tell you that. I don't know why I feel so tongue-tied, and he also says, I don't know why I feel so skinned alive. Fans of Cut Tooth will always appreciate the use of those same exact lyrics. If you like Cut Tooth, we'll get to Cut Tooth. It's a B-side that I really like. I think it's a fun song from an earlier time, and so anyway. Recycling lyrics. You don't see a lot of it, but Radiohead does it. They'll keep using lyrics that you're familiar with. Those ones are very specific. Myxomatosis is a song about Tom York feeling like he's putting a certain message out there that in his music that the media kind of twists and turns and edits and makes different than what he meant, and then as he says in an interview, kind of argues back to him that is in fact what he meant, which I might be doing a little bit when I try to interpret his lyrics. But it got edited, screwed up, strangled, beaten up, used as a photo in Time magazine, buried in burning black hole. I mean, these are all things that he's saying that my message, you're taking it and you're making it what it's not. Maybe I'm not saying that exactly right, but that's what Myxomatosis is about. And it's not a super confident version of that. Myxomatosis, the actual thing, is a disease, a virus that kills rabbits. And it does it pretty quickly. Within about 10 days, they get kind of swollen eyes, swollen genitals. You'd think this is what we talk about today. Yeah. And they die. In fact, some populations in Australia have purposefully introduced myxomatosis into the local hare population to keep rabbit and hare controlled, the populations controlled. I did not tell the kids what myxomatosis was. Let's see what the kids got out of it, however. In her drawing, this reminds me of the old Windows Media Player. You'd play your music through the Windows Media Player, and it would show the waves getting louder when your music got louder and then quieter. That's what she's trying to, not because she's familiar with the Windows Media Player, but you can still find this on, who knows what. But it says loud. She definitely just got that this song was a lot of musical noise in a good way. He thought when I said the name of the song was Myxomatosis, he thought it had something to do with toast. So the guy on the right is putting bread in a toaster, and the guy on the left is saying, "What is that?" And I don't know. I think he's putting that toast in the toaster with his arm, and he just didn't draw the arm long enough. It kind of looks like he's fishing it out with a fishing pole. So, but yes, he thought it was something about a toast, or maybe that's just what he got out of it. Go watch live versions of Myxomatosis, and Tom has a lot of fun. What would you give Myxomatosis on a score?
6.5. It's just pretty consistent throughout, and again with mostly consistency throughout the songs. Usually it just takes a while for me to come around on them. I mean, that's what happens with any other consistent song, like Burn the Witch. I feel like that was, if I remember right, that was consistent, but I listened to it again and it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I liked it more.
I don't expect you to come around on all of these the way you came around on Burn the Witch. You re-gave that one a high. You when you listened to it again, you gave it a higher score. I mean, you've heard Myxomatosis. It is what it is. It's fun. Judge, Jury, and Executioner. By the way, I never even once mentioned that the subtitle of this song, the co-title is Judge, Jury, and Executioner, which they never once say in the song. It's just the Hail to the Thief thing, if you remember. We've talked about that before. Our last video was a Radiohead reaction was in fact Lift, was in fact my favorite song, still is. If you haven't seen the reaction to Lift, I keep saying I'll post it here. I know I won't. Go find it on the channel. I love that song. But one of the comments on Lift was from Clash Panda 120. Says, I was also wondering if you could do I Promise if you haven't already. I associate these two songs quite closely, and I think that this is just as good. I agree that this version of Lift is more superior. Great favorite song. Glad he liked it. Happy birthday for next week. I picked that song because I appreciate everybody's very kind comments, response. I mean, it's a great song. It's hard to argue that it's not a great song, but it is my favorite song. I love it so much, and I appreciate everybody understanding that and not that they would, but not coming out and saying, why would you like that? As I suggested people might. I also picked the song, this comment, because I feel the same way about I Promise. We will get to I Promise, but that one is so closely associated to time and place as Lift is, and certainly their release on OK Not OK, and their callback in their music video callbacks to older Radiohead are just really good. I Promise is a different pace, but very moody, melodically beautiful, percussively beautiful. We'll get to that one, but I wanted to point out that I feel the exact same way. I know exactly what you're saying. I also wanted to give a shout out to Inverse Midas, who recommended Myxomatosis to show you, but also had a great comment about his feelings about Reckoner, just because I think a lot of people have personal attachments to song, and when people share that kind of stuff, I really like it. And for someone who's been watching the channel for a long time, I appreciated that. So thank you very much. Thank you for all your kind comments. Well, we will get to a lot more Radiohead. We will school is back in session, so you have a very regimented schedule. So hopefully we can get to do a lot more of these. We'll try not to do them so late at night, so he has a lot more to talk about. I will try to remember to do it earlier because that's more important. People want to hear you react to this song. But either way, good reaction. Good song. Continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
the 15th floor.